Hi, my name is Carlin, and I'd like to introduce you to a book I'm working on. It's called Desert Storm Diaries, Letters from Home, and it's based on my diary that I kept during Desert Storm when I was an aircraft mechanic on a ship that delivered cargo between the various ships in the area. I worked on H-46 helicopters, and in that respect it's a little bit different experience maybe from what you saw on TV during Desert Storm if you were keeping up on that. Every day at the end of my work shift, I typed a little entry in my diary. I had a computer with me on the ship, and what I'm doing now is I'm re-editing the original diary into a book format that would kind of make sense to somebody who's reading it. A lot of the original diary was just something that I wrote just to keep track of what I was doing that day, so it might say something like, I fixed a hydraulic leak on aircraft 07, and I changed main landing gear tires on aircraft 00, and we got up at a certain time, we went to bed at a certain time, and maybe that's all it said. And once in a while in the diary I'd maybe mention that something specific happened to a person, or we had a birthday party for somebody or something like that, but a lot of that would, it was just very brief and whatever I wrote at the time of what I felt like writing, because it was just for myself. And now I've been going back and reading it, and I kind of got thinking about it after the current Iraq war started again, because we're right back in the same place, and it's kind of a current situation again, although we've been there for a couple of years now. Anyway, I've got a blog, and I'm going to be posting this video on the blog, so I'll put a little link on the video, because I'm also going to put this up on YouTube probably. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of leave the camera running, and I'm going to read what the original post was, and then as I'm rewriting it, I'll just kind of read what I'm writing, and you can kind of just come along for the ride and see what that's like. And a lot of people who know me realize that in my job now I own a business as a videographer and also a photographer. I shoot things like weddings, and because I'm always the guy with the camera, very seldom do I actually get in front of a camera and talk to it or get my picture taken. And so there's a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter and so on that are always giving me crap because nobody knows what I look like. I've got my avatar picture is me with the camera, and so it hides half of my face, which to me is just fine because I'd rather not be in front of the camera if I can help it. But welcome to social networking. Here we go. Anyway, I'm going to read just a quick post that I put on the blog. It's the very first post, so if you go there, it'll be at the very bottom. But I kind of want to use that for an introduction. That kind of explains what we're doing, and then I'll jump into the actual book part that I'm writing now. Okay, this is the first post on the blog, dated Monday, November 24, 2008. And it's titled, In the Beginning. Forward. This is based in part on a diary I kept during Desert Shield, which then became Desert Storm. This is also based largely on the correspondence I received from numerous people back home, which started with the any service person mail we are receiving so much of. We were receiving more mail than we were able to reply to, so I had my computer, can't even read what I wrote here. We were receiving more mail than we were able to reply to, so since I had brought my computer, I made up a form letter answering 20 of the most common questions that everyone was asking, and then I tried to answer as many personal questions as I had time for. My normal work shift, and I should put that in heavy quotations because as you read the book, you'll realize my normal work shift was nights one day and days the next day. It was just all over the place, but mostly I was working 1800 to 0600, so a lot of what happened during the daylight hours is not included, as I was asleep through most of it. As such, I will not pass this off as an accounting of the war, but rather as my impressions and feelings as things progressed that I actually saw and was a part of. Besides, the average second grade kid saw more of the war on CNN than most of us in the Gulf actually did. I was working 12-hour shifts during most of the time we were on station, 7 days a week, so I was writing back to people when I had time to fit it in without losing too much sleep. The saving factors were: 1, postage was free because we were in a war zone; 2, people were sending out envelopes and stationery; and 3, I had my computer with a printer which was able to take care of the mailing list and doing the letters. From the 100 people I pulled from the mailbag, I ended up with about 40 or 50 people who were writing back to me at least once in a while. And there were some people who actually were sending food, cookies, videotapes of TV shows, paper clippings, cards, etc. After Desert Storm, I transferred to California, and I still had about 20 people who were writing me fairly regularly. Actually, the blog post says that I hadn't met anybody yet, but that's because this post was taken from the diary that I had rewritten back in 92, 93 time frame. Since writing that, I actually had met several people who had been writing to me, all that were in California, so I was able to go up and visit some. I spent Thanksgiving dinner with one family that had wrote to me, and so it was kind of cool to get to meet them. I wrote here, you'll notice a lot of jumping around from present to past tenses here. The diary itself was written first person, this is what happened to me today, and so now when I'm rewriting it, I'm confusing myself sometimes because I'm going back and forth between what it was and what it is. And also some of the posts were rewritten between 1993 and 1994, right after Desert Storm, and then here it is, 2008, and I'm coming back to it again. So that's that. That was like post 1 on the blog, which is basically the introduction to the book. So I'm going to close out of that.